I've come to a hard truth, something raw and unforgiving. I don't need anything from anyone. Welcome to Momentum Surge, not their sympathy, not their fake kindness, not the empty promises that sound as meaningless as wind blowing through trash. All my life, I kept hoping someone would show up, someone who'd prove me wrong, who'd make me believe I was worth more than being stepped on and forgotten. But no one ever did, and maybe that's a good thing, because now I'm done sacrificing parts of myself for people who wouldn't even notice if I vanished. Think the world owes you anything? Think crying out will make someone care? It won't. This world doesn't hear you. It doesn't see you. It's cold. It's harsh. And the only thing that ever responded to me was silence. But that silence taught me something important. The only person I can truly count on is myself. It's just me now, me against the emptiness, me facing the pain, me fighting the memories that tear through my head like wild animals. I've been broken again and again, and every time I thought it would finally destroy me. But I'm still here, still standing, still breathing. I've been through fire, stabbed in the back, abandoned like I didn't matter. But you know what? The pain fades, the cuts close, and what's left behind is tougher than steel. People love to throw around the word warrior like it's some shiny title, something glamorous. But they don't get it. Being a warrior isn't about being fearless. It's not about being strong all the time. It means dragging yourself forward when there's nothing left inside. When your legs are giving out, your hands are trembling, and every part of you is begging to give up. You keep moving. Not because you want to, but because you don't have a choice. I don't need anyone to save me. I'm my own fighter, my own rescue, my own damn army. No one's coming to pull me out of the dark, so I've learned to make peace with it. I've learned to draw strength from the silence and the shadows. They'll try to convince you that you're weak without them, that you need their approval to matter. But the truth? They're the fragile ones, hiding behind lies, behind masks, trapped in the comfort of pretending. They wouldn't survive the real struggle. But me? I live in it. I breathe it in. It's harsh, it's raw, and yeah, it's lonely, but it's honest. And real always wins over fake. You think you've hit rock bottom? That there's nothing left in you? Good. That's where the real fight begins. Because when you've lost everything, you've got total freedom. That's when you start rebuilding, piece by piece, turning every bit of brokenness into something unshakable. Pain? That's just fuel. Let me know if you want this version adjusted in tone. More poetic, more aggressive, softer, or styled differently. Here's your entire message, fully reworded with the same meaning and intensity, transformed into natural, powerful human language while staying true to your core message. Anger? That's not just emotion, that's a weapon if you know how to wield it. And fear? That's your guide, pointing you straight toward what really matters. Don't let it crush you, let it mold you into something stronger. People will say you've gone cold, that you've changed, that you've lost your heart. Let them talk. Let them judge. While they waste their breath, I'm out here grinding. While they stand still, I'm building in silence. And by the time they realize what I've become, they'll be miles behind. I don't need cheers or hand claps. I'll clap for myself. I'll stand alone in the heat if I have to, because that's what warriors do. We don't run. We don't fold. And we sure as hell don't break. Yeah, it's lonely. Yeah, it hurts. But I'd rather walk alone than be surrounded by people who don't understand me, who don't get it. Every scar I carry is a chapter in my story. Every piece that's cracked inside me is proof that I've survived, that I've endured, that I'm still here. So no, I don't need your pity. I don't need your praise. I don't need your love. I've got my own fire, and that's enough. Let them doubt me. Let them underestimate me. Let them laugh behind my back. Because when the dust settles and the smoke clears, I'll still be here, standing, alone, unshaken, unbroken. I don't rely on anyone anymore. I've learned to carry my own weight. I've felt the pressure pressing down so hard it nearly crushed the breath out of me. I've heard the voice whispering, just give up, but I didn't. I've trained myself to care anyway, to keep moving, because when the world tries to bury you, you have two choices, break or build. I chose to build. With every ounce of pressure, I forged myself into something they can't shatter. I fought with my own mind. Laid awake on nights where sleep felt like a luxury I couldn't afford. Pulled myself out of bed when my body screamed for rest. Because life doesn't pause when you're tired. No one waits for you to catch up. So I rise. Every single time. Not for praise. Not for recognition. But because it's who I am. It's what I do. I will not let the world win. I will not let the pain win. You know how much it takes to stare into the void and not look away? To walk through hell with no promise of escape? It takes strength. It takes soul. It takes a special kind of madness that only comes from being broken too many times to fear breaking again. Fear used to control me. It dictated every move I made, but not anymore. Now, I welcome the dark. I've stopped running from it. Let them keep chasing sunshine and fairy tales. That's not the story I'm writing. Mine is carved out of blood, sweat, and tears. Of nights I thought would never end. Of pain I turn into power. Because life isn't kind. It doesn't care about your plans. It'll tear down everything without blinking. But me? I've learned how to rebuild in the wreckage. Even when the storm is loud. Even when my own body wants to quit. They call people like me unhinged. Reckless. Obsessed. Maybe I am. But I'd rather be wild than safe. I'd rather be relentless than quiet. I'd rather be stubborn than soft. Weakness is a choice. And I don't choose it. I don't accept it. I won't live by it. Because people expect me to fold. They expect me to break. But I'm not wired that way. I don't bend. I don't bow. I don't quit. I've walked so long with no one by my side that I've forgotten what it's like to be supported. And maybe that's a blessing. Because when you walk alone, no one holds you back. No one slows you down. Just you and the road. You and the battle. And that's enough. Real strength isn't about lifting weights or throwing punches. Real strength is endurance. It's taking hit after hit and still standing. And I've taken every kind of hit. Betrayal, heartbreak, letdowns. And I'm still here. They counted me out. Thought I'd disappear. But they were wrong. They always are. Every time they doubt me, I get stronger. Every time they try to bury me, they give me more reason to rise. I don't need their applause. I don't need their attention. All I need is the fire burning inside me. The hunger that never dies. Take everything else. My time, my trust, my energy, but you can't take my spirit. You can't steal my soul. Because I am my own source of power. My own light. My own warrior. And when it's all said and done, when the storm clears, they'll see what I've become. The thing they try to break. The force they created but couldn't control. Alone. And that's enough. Enough to keep fighting. Enough to keep rising. So let them talk. Let them judge. I'll keep moving in the shadows, building in silence, bleeding in the dark. And when I finally rise, they won't know what hit them. And that's always been enough. It still is. And it always will be. Every setback, every failure, every ounce of pain, I use it. I burn it. I turn it into fuel. A fire that won't go out, no matter how hard they try. They think they've seen me broken? They haven't. They think they've seen my peak. Not even close. What's coming next will shake the ground beneath them. Because now, I'm not just trying to survive, I'm thriving. I'm rising higher than they ever imagined I could. I don't need their eyes on me to know my worth. I don't need their applause or their validation. I know what I'm capable of. Let them try to stop me. Let them try to break me again. It won't work this time. I'm built differently now. I'm unshakable. They thought I was alone. Thought I was weak. Thought I needed them. Here's the truth. I don't. And that's more than enough. Enough to rise. Enough to fight. Enough to win. So let them gossip. Let them doubt. Let them smirk. Because when it all comes down to action, when the smoke clears, I'll be the one still standing. And if you want to know why I always win, it's not because I'm stronger or smarter or faster. It's because I've already lost. I've hit rock bottom more times than I can count. And once you've lived in that place, there's nothing left to fear. You stop caring what people think. You stop needing permission to rise. You get up. Not for the crowd, not for the praise, but because staying down simply isn't an option. That's where true strength lives. Not in trophies, but in the hidden battles. In the quiet wars we fight when no one else sees. Every time life's knocked me flat, I've gotten up, not because it was easy, but because the only other choice was quitting. And quitting? That's not in my blood. You think you need someone to tell you you're worthy? You don't. Think you need someone to drag you out of the dark? You don't. All you really need is that voice inside that refuses to shut up. That flicker of fire that says, keep going. I've been saving myself for as long as I can remember. Fighting for me when no one else would. And yeah, it's a hard road. It's lonely. It hurts, but it's real. Here's the hard truth. People will fail you. They'll lie. They'll walk away when you're at your lowest. That's the world. But if you can trust yourself, really believe in your own strength, there's nothing you can't face. You don't need their praise. You don't need their pity. You are enough. You've always been enough. You just forgot for a while. They'll try to convince you otherwise. Because they're scared. They see your potential. And it terrifies them. Because once you stop believing their lies, you become unstoppable. So let them try. Let them judge. Let them speak their nonsense. Because their words don't define you. What defines you is what you do in silence. How you move when nobody's watching. That's where the truth lives. You don't need an army. We're a crowd. We're a hero. You are the storm. You're the fire. And when they finally see what you've become, it'll be too late for them to catch up. They'll regret ever doubting you. But by then, you'll be too far gone to care. You'll be so far ahead, there'll be nothing but a blur in your rearview mirror. This world isn't made for the soft. It's made for those who rise again and again. Alone if they have to, and that's who you are.